London has changed a great deal since the age of Shakespeare. Indeed, the north bank of the River Thames would be hardly recognisable to an Elizabethan citizen. Even St Paul's Cathedral, which we might consider one of the most historic buildings in the City of London, is in fact the product of a later epoch. The Millennium Bridge now brings foot passengers across the River Thames, where once the ferrymen and the watermen would have rowed them across. Here on the south side, Sam Wanamaker's Globe Playhouse has risen phoenix-like, close to the spot where Shakespeare's plays were first performed. And yet there is the beauty of London. Scratch its surface, delve into the back streets, the hidden courtyards, the secret alleys, and echoes of the past are still there for those who are willing to listen. The cheapest, safest, and by far the most popular way of travelling around the city was on the River Thames. And here, amidst the bustle of what is once more a thriving South Bank, one of the old ferryman's seats has survived. It's of uncertain age, but is generally agreed to be of ancient origins. And it provides an intriguing link between our age and that of Shakespeare, because here generations of ferrymen would sit waiting to take passengers back across the River Thames to the City of London on the opposite bank. We can't be certain by which route Shakespeare came to London, but it is likely the latter stages of his journey brought him along this thoroughfare, Holborn. In those days, it was lined with inns and taverns, all of which have long since been demolished. Today, soulless office blocks sit upon sites once occupied by places with names such as the Blue Boar, the Castle and the Sun. And yet, one structure has survived to link our age with that of Shakespeare's. For here on the right, still gazing down onto passers-by below, no doubt as it gazed down on the travel-weary young Shakespeare as he made his way to the City of London, is Staple Inn. And despite having been repaired after considerable bomb damage in the Second World War, it still provides a tranquil oasis away from the bustle of modern London. We can only guess at Shakespeare's emotions as he walked past this building. Feelings of excitement, yes, but also tinged, no doubt, with fear and trepidation as the smells, sounds and then sights of the City of London began to assail his senses. It is to two former parishioners of this church that mankind owes a huge debt of gratitude. And here's the memorial to John Hemming and Henry Condell, friends of Shakespeare's, fellow actors with Shakespeare, church wardens of this church. These are the two men who selflessly in 1623, 7 years after Shakespeare's death, gathered together all the known manuscripts that Shakespeare had written, and they published them as the first folio of Shakespeare's plays. Had it not been for that act, the chances are that many of his greatest works would have been lost to us. Because over here, from 1598 to 1613, stood the Globe Playhouse of William Shakespeare. And indeed, all that remembers him now is this plaque on the wall, giving you a nice view of what the area was like. But if only this ground could speak, we might be able to hear the words of Shakespeare spoken from his own lips. The Globe stood here until 1613, when it burnt down during a performance of King Henry VIII. A cannon was meant to fire as a special effect, but it misfired, lodged in the thatch, and within 2 hours, Shakespeare's Globe was no more.
Planet Earth's #1 accommodation site, Booking.com. Booking.yeah.